Let's have a conversation about privilege. Privilege is a social construct that provides unearned advantages to a select group of people. It doesn't mean that the person with privilege isn't a hard worker, but it does mean that people without that privilege have to work harder just to be on the same playing field. Now, there are privileges of all kinds. Personally, I'm a benefactor of male privilege. There are certain things that I'm exempt from experiencing just because I'm a male, things that women have to deal with on a regular basis. Now, stay with me on this next part because I can already sense the eyes rolling. While it isn't necessarily my fault that I benefit from male privilege, it is my responsibility with that privilege to do my part in leveling the playing field.
Okay, I was about to say.
What does that look like in action? Listening to women and what they go through with the goal of understanding their point of view, even though I know I never really fully could, doing what I can to be an ally to the female persuasion, and standing up against any form of toxic male privilege that I witness. As a Christian in America, I am spared from religious discrimination. I may get flack sometimes from non-Christians, but it's never anything that would set me back on a socioeconomic level. That's the point. You see, there are people out there with certain privileges who will do anything and everything in their power to maintain the status quo of that privilege, whether it's through microaggressions or plain old discrimination. But as a Christian in America, I recognize and understand my privilege, empathize with those of other religions, and I vocally stand against any Christian that would use that privilege to discriminate against others. Are you catching my drift? I also benefit from being a heterosexual, as well as a natural-born US citizen. Again, with each of these privileges, I recognize that I possess them, and it is my duty to use these privileges to combat any form of discrimination or bigotry against those who don't. Aha! You know where I'm going with this. Now, I also understand that equality to the privileged can sometimes feel like oppression, as if someone is taking something away from them, when in reality, they just want to be treated equal. We saw this with the whole Happy Holidays debacle, where certain groups of people considered the use of it an attack on Christmas, even though there are several other holidays around the same time, as well as the fact that the Christmas holiday has pagan roots. We also saw it with the young lady who sued the University of Texas at Austin because students of certain demographics were selected for admission over her. At the end of the day, privilege is a social construct, created to benefit certain groups of people over others. It is completely man-made, and it is the duty of those of us who possess those privileges to do our part in leveling the playing field. To ignore or disregard this responsibility, whether out of ignorance, delusion, or sheer stubbornness, is completely unacceptable.